How many calories should you have on Zepbound and Wegovy? Hi friends, I'm Elizabeth, Countess of Shopping. I have been on a GLP-1 medication for 17 full months, going on 18 months. I have lost over 90 pounds, which is crazy to say. Started off on Mounjaro because of the Mounjaro shortage, moved to Zepbound because of the Zepbound shortage, and now on a compound, and I'm racing towards a 100-pound weight loss goal. But on today's episode, we're going to talk about a new set of nutritional recommendations that came out. As always, I will cite my sources down in the description link below. Just click that ... more button. You may need to click the more button twice to get my full list of everything I'm talking about today. And I've got a ton of free resources for you too, so make sure you stay until the end to get all of that free information on nutrition as well. So a new set of nutritional recommendations are expected to help people remain as healthy as possible as they're shedding unwanted pounds. For sure, for me, that has been the case because Eli Lilly, the manufacturer of Zepbound and Mounjaro, tell us we need to change two permanent lifestyle changes: our physical activity and our eating habits. And so going along these, the question that I get in my free group all of the time is, what is that? What should we be doing? What is the best thing we should be doing? How many calories should we be having? What's the best free tracker to use or tracker to track our calories on there? And so Lisa Neff, she's the executive director of global medical affairs for Eli Lilly, the manufacturer of Mounjaro and Zepbound, said in a news release recently that the guidelines are meant to equip clinicians with knowledge to help tools to support optimal nutrition and medical outcomes for their patients for anti-obesity medications. And so that was my big question. I was like, okay, how many calories per day is that? I went over to, well, I'll talk about that in a minute. Let's keep staying at the task at hand. The guidelines crafted following an evidence review call for women taking weight loss drug. And so, meaning Zepbound, this is from Eli Lilly, the manufacturer of Zepbound, but you could akin this to Wegovy, which is the manufacturer is Novo Nordisk, a GLP-1 medication. You could akin it if you're taking a compound, which I am because I couldn't find Zepbound in my area because of the Zepbound shortage, so I was forced to switch to a compound. I'll link down below my compound pharmacy and telehealth information. You can use the discount code QUEEN with that as well. But the calories for that are 1,200 to 1,500 calories a day for women taking a weight loss drug. For men, the medication is 1,500 to 1,800 calories a day. Your initial thoughts, tell me down below in the comments. I'm dying to know. Initially, I was like, like I had like this like 1990s mentality of like calories in, calories out. And we know that that information is true, but not true. To lose weight, we've got to be in a calorie deficit. But also I have been unraveling, which we've talked extensively about. And I know for so many of you on GLP-1 medication is as you make this transition on anti-obesity medications that viewing tracking calories for some people can be a pearl clutching moment. So it goes on to say a day's food should include more than 60 to 70 grams of protein. Recommended sources include beans, seafood, lean meat, poultry, low-fat dairy, and eggs. For me, I've had to switch over to exactly what they're saying because I could not have, for example, a fatty New York strip steak or a fatty ribeye steak because of the gastrointestinal things that happened. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. The gastrointestinal side effects for my body could not handle high-fat foods, high-fat proteins. And if I do have like a full-fat hamburger, for example, I can have a very small quantity. If I have a big quantity, I will pay for it later, figuratively and literally. You know, you know. It continues to go on and say healthy high carbohydrates constituting a 45% to 68% of overall energy intake. Added sugars limited to less than 10% of intake. Whole grains, nuts, seeds, fruits, vegetables, and dairy are recommended. By the way, friends, we need, again, I'm not a healthcare provider. Always talk to your own healthcare provider. And I have been under and hired a dietitian to help me relearn food. Basically, there was clearly, and for anybody, I feel like I'll use my I statements. For me, for sure, an unhealthy relationship with food. And as I go on this anti-obesity medication, an unraveling of that and building healthy relationship with food. And Fruits and vegetables, because of the fiber, have been so important to help combat constipation that can happen with gastrointestinal side effects on. So make sure you're having fruits and vegetables. If you're having constipation, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Make sure you're having enough fruits and vegetables. It goes on to say about 21 to 25 grams of fiber per day for women. For men, fiber should be 30 to 38 grams of fiber. Fruits and vegetables and whole grains are recommended sources. A fiber supplement can be used if a person is not to meet the fiber goals through diet. I would encourage you, my loves, like enjoy, find fruits and vegetables you love. That has been one of the most life-changing things for me, is finding fruits and vegetables that's not drudgery, but I actually look forward to eating and that I really, really love. Berries are peak right now here in rural Virginia. I love berries. Finding things that apple season, like throughout this past year, I really learned to embrace fruits and vegetables that I very much enjoy. We got my husband and I recently in the Duke have been getting platters, vegetable platters from Costco, and I'll have that as my snack. It has yogurt dip in there for just a little bit of dip to go with the veggies. It is a fun, easy snack to have instead of like snacking on, I don't know, like popcorn or something like that, or pretzels. It's a nice little snack to be able to have with that dip. So maybe get a veggie platter if you're trying to like introduce new habits. That has been fun for us, not as a new habit, but just we love. 2 to 3 waters of fluids, including water, low-calorie beverages, and low-fat dairy. Caffeine should be limited or avoided. I have gone to way less caffeine, not because I want to, but because it led to more gastrointestinal issues for me. So that was why I kind of shifted my caffeine. Plus, I have high energy to begin with usually. The water system, if you don't have one, I would strongly encourage check out my Amazon shopping list. I have a system there of where do you put your lids after you wash I have used to use Stanley's. I've switched to Simple Modern. I love them. They're way less expensive. They're easier to clean. And you can get the 40-ounce tumblers. Those are also on my Amazon shopping list down below. But making sure you have water. And then for me, I am obsessed with element electrolytes. I have 1 pack per day. I don't usually have 2 unless I've been excessively sweating. They do have new electrolyte cans. They're sparkling electrolyte water. They're so good. But you can get 8 free sticks of their drink mix with any drink mix purchase. They've been very generous to the Countess of Shopping community. Element has, so snag those down below if you're wanting electrolytes. I love them because they're science-based. There's no junk added. There's no dyes. So they're like not red, for example. And they're easy to travel with and they taste really good. If they're too salty, just add more water. So let's go back over it. The guidelines also recommended a multivitamin, calcium, and vitamin D supplementation to make sure a person is getting daily required levels of macronutrients. My favorite daily supplement that I am obsessed with is Gem. They've been also very generous with the Countess of Shopping community to give us 50% off the first month subscription. I love these. That's my daily vitamin. And then I have been using GNC, and I'll link down below, GNC's vitamin D3. That's what I've been using. And the calcium, because it has in there essential for calcium absorption and strong bones. So it goes on. And again, I'm linking this source down below in that description. Jessica Alvarez, an associate professor of medicine at Emory University of Medicine in Atlanta, said in the news release, Alvarez was not associated with this research. She said, simply focusing on weight loss is insufficient for optimal health, which, friends, I have said that all along, that we have got to change the habits. I have got to change my habits. I'll use my I statements. I have got to change my habits. Doctors should monitor patients' dietary intake while they're taking weight loss drugs to make sure they aren't suffering with signs of malnutrition. One of the reasons why I love and work with Join Fridays, my telehealth company who prescribes both brand names and compounds, I'll link it down in the description link below. You can use the discount code QUEEN, is they offer free, it's included in your monthly membership, free weekly dietitian group calls. That dietitian, by the way, has her master's degree. She is brilliant. She's so smart, but it's included in the membership. So it's going through and talking about dietary intake and learning. For me, I've had to learn different eating habits and still continue to learn. I'm not to my goal weight yet. And so I'm still continuing to learn along these, but people with diabetes, people with obesity are already at risk for some nutrient deficiencies. This is an important guide acknowledging the need for thorough nutritional assessment before and during treatment with anti-obesity medications. Many patients need detailed guidance on what and how much to eat to ensure an optimal quantity, avoid nutrient deficiencies, and avoid excessive muscle loss while taking anti-obesity medication. The evidence review and guidelines are to be published soon in the journal Obesity. And then I will cite my source for this. It was on upi.com. And then also another article associated with this too is on US News and World Report, making sure I'm getting good sources for this information on there. Now, I had said at the beginning of the video a free resource for you. Many, many months ago, I paid a not a nutritionist actually. Nutritionist, I didn't know this, but you can get a nutritionist certification like on the internet to say you're a nutritionist. So a dietitian, this dietitian has her master's degree, created a meal plan for GLP-1 patients in the Countess of Shopping community. I bought it, I own the licensing rights from the dietitian to give it to you for free. Why did I do that? The account thought I was crazy. I paid 500 smackaroonies for this. The account thought I was nuts, but I did it because people kept asking me, what do I eat on Zepbound and Wegovy and compounds and on Mounjaro and on Ozempic? And I'm like, that's not my gifting. Let me go hire an expert to make something for our community for free. So she did. I paid her and she did. It's a weekly meal plan. It comes with the shopping list on there, and it also comes with a ton of protein, high protein recipes included. It's totally free. You could buy it for 500 bucks like I did, or you can just get my free one. And I have a second edition is going to be coming out very, very soon as well. I paid another 500 bucks. So I'm now like $1,000 in on meal plans, but I did it for our community as a gift to help us all, because I need the help too as I relearn and learn new tools and techniques to go through of what do you eat. So on that meal plan, it does not have specific quantities, right? Because if we go back over to this article, it tells us there's a range, 1,200 to 1,500 calories per day. For me, I'm almost 6 feet tall. And when I went on MyFitnessPal, totally a free resource, not sponsored by them, I switched from Weight Watchers to that free just because, for several reasons, but it was easy to track my calories and protein on that app. And it told me to lose 2 pounds per week with my almost 6 feet tall frame and the weight that I am right now, 1,200 calories per week, per day, excuse me, not per week, per day. I don't often hit that. I have to have exercise to hit that for me, which is why tracking has been a very eye-opening experience. And I detest tracking. I don't say hate because I don't hate anything, but I detest it. But doing it, I've had to work with a therapist because, again, unhealthy relationship with food and rehealing those tools. I've had to learn how to track because then I can see what an accurate portion size should be for me. And so frequently I'm not like full authenticity and being completely vulnerable right now. For me to hit that 1,200 calories per day, I have to have exercise. And I have to hit that protein, which for me, my dietitian said 100 to 120 grams per day to help to combat that muscle mass loss. I have several different protein options that I love. Those will be linked in the description link below. I cannot hit the protein 100 to 120 grams per day without having a protein shake. And I love eating fresh fruits and vegetables and fresh foods and fresh meats and things like that. But with the calories, then it doesn't work well for me. So, and I've had to find proteins I've really loved, like seafood, shrimp, chicken, but I'm very weird about chicken. And my dear friend David, one of my besties, was like, why don't you just get pre-cooked meats? And so I've been going to Costco per his recommendation, and they have like meatballs, and I've been showing you guys like the chicken meatballs. So there are leaner cuts of chicken, but they're already prepared. I forget the brand. Maybe it's a man's name that's on the brand, and I'm forgetting. Tell me in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. They're at Costco. It's Kevin's. That's the name of it. Kevin's. Very simple. You can get them at like not Trader Joe's, but Whole Foods, Costco, but they have like clean ingredients with the meats. So the pre-cooked meats have also been very helpful for me too. So those are some of the things of how many calories per day should we be having? I think that it's also important from my experience, strength, and hope. And again, I am not an expert. This is simply but my journey as I go through having lost 90 pounds now of what's worked really, really well for me and what's not. What's worked really, really well for me is gradual changes. the people that can come in and immediately like eat these amazingly clean, healthy things, that has not been my journey. And when I'm brutally honest, my first, when I was on Mounjaro 2.5 milligrams, the starting dose, I still had like a bucket of chicken and French fries. Like I still was eating unhealthfully, just way smaller portions, and was still able to lose weight, but didn't change my habits. I am really at this point now, being over 17 full months on a GLP-1 medication, really working so hard to change my eating habits and exercise habits. Because Eli Lilly tells us we have to. They tell us we have to make these permanent lifestyle changes for GLP-1 medication. And it's true. Like, I wish it wasn't true, but it's true. It's in order, because I'll be on these for the rest of my life. For the information I have right now with GLP-1 medication. And so that's been really important to make these permanent, healthy lifestyle changes. One of the other supplements, you guys ask me about supplements all the time too. Magnesium has been a game changer for me for constipation, sleep, anxiety, a number of different things. If you didn't see my episode where I talked about the best magnesium for sleep, I go through my sleep data from my Oura Ring. It's literally my science-based data that I pulled of my sleep before this. It has 7 types of magnesium. My old magnesium only had 1 type. So changing that up has been a game changer for my sleep, anxiety, but constipation. I don't really have constipation issues for a couple of different reasons. The prebiotics and probiotics in my daily vitamin. Magnesium, I think, is for me is like the big hinge pin on that too. So highly recommend if you do want straight prebiotics and probiotics directly. Bioptimizers has a discount with using the discount code QUEEN, QUEEN. If you want those, but the supplement I take has prebiotics and probiotics in it. So, and I also do love their sleep breakthrough. It's like an additional on top of the magnesium. I don't use that every day, but sometimes when I know I have like a big project or I just want a very gentle sleep, I take that maybe 1 to 2 times per week. So, sweet friends, interesting article. I'll cite my source down in the description link below. 2 things we do here. One is your accountability question. What are you doing today to move you closer to your goals? Tell me in the comments. If you're working out while you're watching this video, first give yourself a pat on the back. And second, you can say it in your head. I'll give you permission not to type it in. Number 2, our emoji for today is going to be a high five. High five. That is like our bat signal that you've made it this far in the video. And if you have, I truly want to get to know you better. And your pattern recognition of like having an emoji will help me to get to know you better. Feel free to binge watch my 250 plus videos down below and click that like and subscribe button. Do make sure with your emojis as well. I'll make sure I will pray over you as well. It's my second part 2 of that. If you don't believe in prayer, I'll uplift you in positive thought. So sweet friends, fascinating article. Make sure to check out tomorrow's episode. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. I'm Countess of Shopping. Count my blessings because life is delicious. Have a fabulous day. See you tomorrow. Bye, guys.